We'll start in 3 minutes. We can use these 3 minutes just to come to ourselves. We can be with the chant. We can close our eyes. Just for 3 minutes, bring yourself to your breath.
Namastasye, namastasye, namo namaha. Amba Lalita Devi Mahalakshmi Vaishnavi Namastasye, 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 namo namaha.
Just another 2 minutes. Be with your breath.
Amba Lalita Devi Ma Saraswati Brahmi Namastasye, 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 namo namaha.
Just another half a minute.
Lalita Devi Durga Devi Shankari Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Amba Lalita
Being totally present to yourself. Slowly, you will continue this quality of presence even after you open your eyes. Slowly coming back. 10, 9, 8,
Namastasye,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Rub your palms together, slowly cover your eyes and open your eyes.
Amba Lalita Devi
Good morning, everyone. My name is Purvi Goyal, and I'm a student at Heritage Experiential Learning School. On behalf of the IC3 family, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the Consciousness and Wellbeing track. As you settle in, please take a moment to explore the artwork displayed in the room. These pieces were created by my fellow Heritans, and each one comes with a note that shares what it means to us. The aim of today's session is to address the connection between one's cumulative childhood experiences and their effect on their behaviors, beliefs, and worldview. Everyone has an inner child that unconsciously influences their actions and emotions. Connecting with this inner child can help one connect more authentically with the world around them. Dr. Preeti Kohli, founder of the AHA movement, has been a consulting homeopathic physician for over 20 years and a transformational coach for over 12 years. She is currently serving as a founding member and director of the AHA movement. Through her work, she has impacted thousands of lives, and she has successfully conducted over 200 workshops in alternative healing therapies. Um, I will be handing out feedback forms to you right now, and I'll collect them at the end of the session. Now it's my pleasure to introduce. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our speaker for the evening. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Have we all had a good lunch? Yes, that's wonderful. May I request you to just come a little ahead? I promise I will not eat you up. You don't have to be scared of me. How many of us were backbenchers in school? Yeah. How many of us are first timers? Wow, that's incredible. And how many of us are new to meditation also completely? That's wonderful. Okay. So, we'll be talking about inner child. And what I'll do is I'll share with you a story. Okay. And actually, this is a fact, something that actually happened. This was back in 1950s in Thailand. There was a monastery outside which, a part of which there was a huge Buddha statue. Okay. And the government was making a highway there. So they wanted them to relocate. They were giving them another place to have the monastery there. And as all of this was decided, and there was one day that was fixed to take this Buddha statue from this place to the new place, they brought in all the machinery to pick the statue up. So this huge clay Buddha statue, as they start trying to pull it up, it was just much heavier than what they had estimated. Okay, and they still kept trying, but in the process of doing that, in a couple of places cracks happened. Okay, and then the monks requested, no, you got to put this down, you can't damage our statue. And then the officials kind of spoke and they said, we will come back with machinery so that it could actually lift up much heavier statue. Now it started raining that day, and so they covered it up with the tarpaulin. And at night, what happens is the head monk was a little worried because it was rainy, it was windy, and he said, the tarpaulin should not really fly away because now the cracks were also there. So he comes out with a torch, and as he shines the light there, he picks it up and sees whether this place where the cracks were there is safe. And what he sees is, as he's shining the light, there is light coming from the other end. And he's a little surprised. And he checks the other place where the crack is there, and the same thing is happening. And then he goes inside, and a couple of monks come with hammer and chisel, and they say, let's see what's happening. And they also see that, yes, the same thing is happening. So they start actually taking it out a little by little. Can you imagine what happened by morning? They saw that they took that entire thing out, and it was a gold Buddha statue. Later it was discovered that actually 300 plus years ago, that time this country was called Siam. This Buddha statue, which was gold, Siam was being attacked by the Burmese army at that point in time. Okay, and the monks knew that we are going to lose, and they are going to break our beloved Buddha statue for the gold of it. So the easiest thing that they found was they covered it up with clay. They layered it up so well that nobody for so many years found out that it was actually a gold statue. So all the monks at that point in time died, they were killed. But this statue later, it was kind of discovered. So this is actually a true thing that happened. And why am I sharing this story? Because this actually is also the story of all of us. right? Today, when Ganesh said in the opening, he said, we are actually all lovely children inside us. We are all loving beings. We are curious. We are naturally very creative, right? We are very deeply accepting. But what happens is when there are wounds that happen, there are things that happen to us, we layer ourselves up, we start covering up. And in this entire process, we lose a lot of our liveliness, our curiosity, our warmth, our gentleness, our trusting nature. A lot of beautiful qualities that really make life meaningful, right? Now, Jesus Christ said, it's there in the Matthew, truly I say to you, unless you are converted and become like children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. What is he talking about? He is really talking about that in our journey, whenever we become courageous, whenever we are ready, we will need to do that. We will need to reclaim back our beautiful childlike qualities. When he says we will need to become like children, of course, we are not talking about becoming childish, but becoming childlike. That innocence, that wonderment that you can just look at this and you can say, wow, that you're not focused so much on what's missing, what is it more that I have to do, and you can just right now enjoy what is. That beautiful quality is what we need to reclaim. Now, why is it that we don't do it? What is it? Ganesh also mentioned that we have all been adulterated. What is this adulteration that has happened, right? So let's look at it, various ways in which this happens, right? One is, now where is this child? When she said that we have a child within, these qualities are still there within. Okay? And when I said that there are wounds that have happened, what are these wounds? Okay? A child is a very needy child. If you see other animals, a lot of animal children are not so dependent. They are born, and when they're born, they'll turn and they'll start moving towards the mother. But the human child is the most needy child. They cannot turn also by themselves. They need to be picked up. They need to be cleaned. They need to be fed. So actually, if this child is not taken care of, they are not even going to survive. So this child is very, very needy, and through all the stages, right from the time that the child is born, the infancy period, and then the child starts moving, the toddler period, when the child is going to go and explore everything. And then the child is going to ask a lot of questions in the preschool stage. What is this? But why are the leaves green? But why does this happen? So every stage that the development is happening, there are certain needs for the child, right? Now, when these needs are not met, now these needs are not only physical, there are emotional needs, there are psychological needs, right? So every child, when they're developing, they need to be supported and yet given the freedom so that they are able to also start separating from the parents. So that from the time that then till the age of becoming an adult, it is different stages of separation, and then the mother is ready to let you go. Yes, go get married and have your own life and whatever that you want to do, right? But till that stage, there are different needs that are there. So when these needs are not met with, they create like a void within us that feels like a wound to them. Okay, now many times if you've heard about, oh, my childhood was not bad, or my childhood was very bad, when people are saying that, most people, they talk about wounds of commission. When they say my childhood was very bad, it could be that there is somebody who did something, was physically, mentally, or sexually abusive to them, and that is when usually you would say that there was an issue. However, there are wounds of omission as well, meaning that parent was not truly available. Maybe they were earning the money and they were, giving them, providing the physical things, but they were not really present so much. Okay, and all of these things will be there in us as voids. Okay, slowly, commonly, what starts happening as we are now toddler, and then we start studying, we start going to school, and then the parent starts saying, if you get this grade, then I will get you this. The child wants something. Now, if you do this, then I will do this. So the child starts to learn that basically, I'm not loved for me. Love is not unconditional, love is conditional. If you do this, then you get this. Right? That is what somewhere all of us we start registering. And then what happens is we start feeling that yes, this void that is there is going to be filled by something on the outside. Right? Now, my mother's love, the child actually needs love. Right? And how will the child know that you love me? When you really give me time, when you really give me attention, when you put the effort to just understand me and be there for me. So the child now starts believing that, okay, if I get this score, then my mama is happy. But if I'm not doing this, then she's not happy. So we all start believing that when I do this, then I will be loved. When I do this, then I'm going to be worthy. Okay, and this is a vicious cycle because actually that never ends. What happens when this child grows up? Okay, now the wife, he's married, mom is no longer there, right? And the wife is saying, you never give me time, you're not there. He says, you don't love me, she says. And he says, but I love you and I'm doing all this for you, right? He imagines that if I become this very high rank officer and this person, that is when even she will love me, and I'm doing this for her. That's the way that love is. But she wants something else, right? So a lot of the times we are actually just stuck in this. And a lot of people who have actually done the inner child work have realized that this void can never be filled with the outside thing. Where is this void? This void is within us. And in childhood, have we all heard idle mind is devil's workshop, right? So we are also told don't sit idle. We have to keep doing something. So we will not sit by ourselves. We will not even know about the void, but we will keep doing this so that we feel good about ourselves. It was a joke back in the 1980s and 90s that the people, the high achievers, they would talk, they would in the party say, how many stents do you have? Okay, and if the person didn't have any stent, they said, oh, then you're not as successful enough. It was almost like the mark of success. I mean, of course, when you're going to be successful, then you'll have that much stress. That would mean that you will have some heart issues, some issues that you have, and you have a stent. So that was a joke that would kind of go around in some of the circles. So we basically are not really present to ourselves. Okay, we are doing things outside. We are trying to fill something within us. We do not feel okay about ourselves just the way we are. Okay, how many of us recognize this thought pattern within us? I am not enough. Either I'm not successful enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not good looking enough, I am not healthy enough, something enough. How many of us recognize this thought? Right? Yes. So we somewhere feel that whatever we are, it is not enough. Okay. Now, in the last century, of course, this is something that was happening, and this thought was so common that something you achieve and then you should feel okay about ourselves. So, you do something, then you will have something, and then you will feel a particular way. But if you're aware of quantum science and the way the quantum science is also talking about it, that the way you are seeing things is the way it is happening. So they're seeing that you first need to start feeling that you are enough. Then it will start happening for you. So you start already, can you start feeling okay about yourself? Can you start saying, I am good enough? And then you continue to do what you may be doing. And then, of course, things will come, right? We are not saying that we have to stop doing a lot of things, but we are saying we need to first connect to how we feel about ourselves. Okay? So, are we actually present to our deeper selves? How many of us have children who complain, who sometimes tell us, Mama, you're not there for me. You're never really present. Yeah? Excellent. Now, if you really see your relationships, they may actually say, yes, you're not present. You're not really there. Even when you're there, you're not really there for me. And this happens because we are really never there for our own selves as well. We are never really present with our own selves. What do I mean by this? We may be aware of our thoughts. Okay, but the part that we have disowned the most is the feeling aspect. The child is a feeling being. Okay, the child, 1 year old, 2 year old, 5 year old, feels things. Even in the womb, the child is sensing things. The rational thinking starts only after the age of 6 to 7 to 9. That's when they can actually start thinking, making logical sense. But till that time, it's all feeling. Okay, the brain development also, the reptilian part is developed, then the mammalian brain is developed. The thinking part is going to develop only later. Okay, so we are a feeling being, and that feeling being is the blueprint to further thinking and decision making. Okay, but a lot of the homes, what has happened is that the feeling part has been discouraged. Let me give you an example. There was a person who came to us. He was attending the inner child workshop, and he came for the second time. He said, Dr. Preeti, I lost my mother and I'm not able to cry. I know I need to cry. It's coming, but it's just held up. So I know that in the workshop you do exercises where we'll be able to kind of get in touch with our feelings. So he came and he connected to a childhood memory where he wanted something as a child and he didn't get it, and he started crying. And the mother said, good boys are not supposed to cry, boys are not supposed to cry. You are a strong boy, you're not a weak boy. So he stopped crying. And then another day he was angry about something. And the mother said, good boys are not supposed to be angry. Yeah, you smile. There's no need to be angry. Now, when we have feelings, the child is always looking for validation. The child is always looking at the mother, father. The mother, father are the only gods that they know, right? We don't know any other gods. The only people who are like gods for us is our parents. And the child is actually, when they're crying, they're looking at the mother. And if the mother is not happy, if she gives you a disapproving look, you will start feeling that there's something wrong. I should not be feeling this. Okay? And we start suppressing. Okay? Now, this is something that has commonly happened. How many of us recognize that, yes, we're not able to really get in touch with our feelings. We're not able to be there if we are feeling sad. We immediately want to just stop it. We can't talk about it also. And if we are feeling angry, also we are feeling that there is something wrong with us. When, yes. Yes, absolutely. So when you say, your mother has said, for example, that good girls are not supposed to be angry. Now, basically, you'll start denying. If there is anger, you'll actually start suppressing it, because obviously we all want to be good boys and good girls, right? So we start suppressing it, and it starts going into the subconscious. And the subconscious is in the body, and when it starts getting repressed, slowly a lot of illnesses also start coming from there. So many times, friends, I can't tell you how many times people have autoimmune problems, and when they do inner child work, they start getting better because they're able to see the conflict. There is some emotion as an adult also, but as a child, you're so used to repressing it that you don't even see it. So your body starts expressing it rather than you seeing it. Why do we, here we are talking about inner child work for teachers, for parents, for facilitators, for counselors, and why? This child is there within you. Okay, now when you are not present to the feelings and the needs of the child, you will not be able to totally be present to the child outside, especially your own child. Okay, it's like if I have money and then if a dear one needs help, they come to me, I can give them money. But if I don't have, can I give it to them? How much ever I may be a good person, all my best intentions, but can I give it to them? We can't. In the same way, when our needs are not met and we are not looking at it, when we are not giving attention to ourselves to nourish ourselves, when we lack that nourishment, we can't give it forward. Okay?
Quotation in the Bible that says your cup runneth over.
Absolutely.
That is not running over.
Absolutely. So if our cup is empty, we can't give it to anybody else. So to facilitate the connection with another child, it is so important that we also connect to the child within. This conscious, unconscious that we mentioned, I'm sure all of us are aware about this iceberg phenomena. We see and show to others only that tip of the iceberg. So I say, oh, I'm a very patient person, I'm a compassionate person, okay? But I don't get angry. No, but my husband, oh, he triggers it. It's not me, but he does those things that actually the anger will come. So we put it on the other. Of course, the close people around us will trigger things for us. But we actually just try to see that good part that we have been showing right from childhood. We wanted to be that good boy, good girl for the mother, for the father. And that is the aspect that we have also started seeing. All the aspects that your mother was not okay with, your father was not okay with, that society at large, judges and says is not okay, starts going into the subconscious. And actually, when the child is there, initially the child does not have that division. It's only as a toddler when you start going and doing things, when your mother starts saying, no, not doing this, this is bad, right? That is when slowly things start going into the subconscious. So what is in the subconscious? A lot of our fears, a lot of our desires which are unacceptable in the society, they're not okay. Okay, a lot of that will go into that. It hasn't gone, it is still there, right? And what is inner child? What is it that we need to do? Now, as a society, yes, we don't need to go out there and tell it to other people, but can we start looking deeper into this? Are we ready to look at ourselves in a non-judgmental way? Can we provide now the space to our inner child who is there within us in a non-judgmental and unconditional manner? That is what inner child is about. So this inner child model, what is the inner child model? At the core level, this core state that we are talking about, this is where the soul is. This is what we are talking about. Where did this disappear? Okay. Yeah. Now, as a child, when we are born, we are absolutely vulnerable. Like I said, we are completely needy. So this is the state, the vulnerability or the inner child state. This is the one that is closest to the soul. And hence, when you have a child, a newborn child in the family, everybody is drawn to this child. This child, if right now we are all sitting as if, oh my God, nothing. But if a child comes here, everybody is going to be drawn. Oh wow, we want to pick that child up. We want to play with that child. We are drawn to this child. It's because they carry that beautiful energy from with them, right? But as we are growing up, the Golden Buddha story that I mentioned, we start forming these clay layers. We start creating these protective layers all around us. And of course, when I say wounds, none of us look like, yes, we are carrying some wounds within. We are carrying all that, but we are covering it up, right? So we all look like all normal beings, but inside us, we all are carrying stuff. Who would see it? Who would know it? Typically, your husband, your spouse, right? Usually, they say that we obviously don't, we because our parents have been our gods, we usually don't say that, oh, I had a bad childhood. No, of course not. But what would happen is when we get married and you believed something else, and then now you're in the same room with another person who came with different set of beliefs, you like to keep the room a particular way and this person keeps it another way, and that's where you feel that, oh my god, now this is the problem, this person is the problem, right? So that's where a lot of our issues actually start getting triggered. There's a master Osho, he would say that usually when people get married, they are like beggars, right? Now this child is like, looking for love, and we are like beggars, and the two people come in front of each other, waiting for the other person to love me. Okay, and what will typically happen is the other is never going to fulfill you. You need to fill your own cup, and you need to share love with the other. Right? So this inner child work is something that we really, really need to do. So also we bring harmony in our personal life. Now, classically, when we are seeing ourselves or the children in our lives, these are the layers that we become aware of. There is the behavior outside. Then deeper to that is attitude. So when somebody has the same kind of behavior over and over, we say this person's attitude is like that. Underlying that is the feelings, and underlying that is needs. So if our needs are met, how would we be feeling? We will be feeling good. So naturally we feel joy, we feel grateful, we feel all the emotions that we say as positive emotions. But if our needs are not met with, we would not feel good, so we would feel sad, we would feel angry, right? Those are natural things. Now, as a child, when we are feeling these emotions or feelings, emotions are energy. And what is it that we know about energy, friends? Energy cannot be destroyed, right? Yes, it can only be transformed. So now what is happening when this child is sad or angry and the mother says, there's no need for you to be angry. You have so many toys. So what if I didn't get you this? No need for you to be angry. Now then what happens? What happened to this energy, this emotion? It is suppressed, right? Somewhere the child feels it's not okay to feel that. Okay? If the child is allowed to feel that and help to understand, see, I understand that you're unhappy, that you didn't get this child. But mama cannot buy you all the things. Mama loves you, but she cannot buy you all the things. You have other toys. Let's come, let's play. Would you like to play with this? Now, when you do that, you're helping the child to understand that it's not bad that I'm feeling angry. It's okay. The anger is natural. But we can also do this. So, when we acknowledge this, now this energy gets processed. When this is not happening, it gets suppressed. Now, obviously, we have not usually been modeled this. How do we learn? By modeling. If our parents, if our teachers have not helped us in this way, helping us to understand our feelings, validating our feelings, helping us to also think that, yeah, it's okay, we can play with this, come. If they have not helped us with that, we have not learned that. The way we have learned, we are going to pass on the same thing. So usually we invalidate for our children also, and we do that for ourselves. Coming back to this, if the child's needs are met, the child is feeling good, how will the behavior be? Good, right? If the child is not feeling good because the need is not met, what would happen in the behavior? Child may be cranky, right? Now, classically, we are trying to change at the behavior level. But when we just try to change at the behavior level, obviously that change is not sustainable. We get frustrated. Why is this not happening? I'm trying to lose the weight. I'm trying not to be addicted to this. Why is this not changing? Because we actually don't look at the deeper level. When we are only trying to work on the outer level, it will not happen. So, of course, we need to first develop the habit of looking at ourselves deeper. If I'm not feeling good, it's okay. Let me look at what is the need, what's happening there. And when we start doing that for ourselves, that is when we'll be able to also do it for the children, right? So many times when I spoke about the conscious, the unconscious, right, are during the age of 3 to 6, children are actually forming beliefs about life. And for example, whatever that they are experiencing, they start believing that life is not easy. Things come difficult for me. I'm going to be loved only when I do something. Okay, so these are some of the limiting core beliefs. So I will never make it. I am worthless. I'm not loved. I am wrong. Now, what will happen is now this child will keep doing things to prove that I'm not wrong. But deep inside, this belief has already gone, I am wrong. Will they be able to change with the task, doing something outside, changing something outside, okay, achieving a particular post, achieving maybe coming to the right weight or whatever, will they start feeling okay just doing that? No, when deep inside they believe I'm wrong, they need to actually also change this belief. We need to see that yes, this is there, and we need to now tell our inner child. We need to start connecting with the child within. This child who believes that I am wrong, I am the problem. Let me give you an example. There was a um, person who came to me. She had a thyroid issue and she had difficulty in expressing, and she connected to a memory where as a 5-year-old she was one day very very happy. She was singing, dancing, she was very joyous. Her mother came from work and her mother had a bad day at work, and she just came and the mother sat down with a cup of tea and she was very annoyed, and this child is very happy, she's singing, and the mother just got so angry. She said, stop that singing of yours, it's giving me a headache. Okay, now obviously the child has believed it, right? There's no, and obviously the child has believed that what I'm doing is the problem. I am giving a headache to my mother. And from there, her singing stopped. From there, she started curbing that and her expression. So later, it affected her thyroid. After she got married, she got this, and again, there was an expression issue there. She got this issue, but the root was in this childhood where she believed that I am giving this headache to my mother by doing this, by me expressing my joy, my liveliness. I am giving a problem to my mother. Right? Now, these kind of things, these kind of situations which are having little high charge. When your mother says, you are giving me a headache. Now, this is a strong thing. This has a lot of energy, and suddenly this imprints the child. So any memories where, suddenly you were hit, you were scolded, or maybe you fell down, there's something that happened that actually makes the child believe that, oh, something is wrong there, right? So it may happen that otherwise your parents were doing wonderful things, right? They were really taking care of, but some memories, it could be couple of memories, but sometimes they impact us in a very deep way. Now this is there within us. This person, even if the mother comes and says, no, I want you to express, it's not going to change that. Because this part is there in her unconscious. The mother now cannot touch that. Your spouse cannot nurture that part of you. That void that is now created in that inner child aspect that we just spoke about, you are the only one who can access that now. Okay, we are the only one. So whatever may have happened, we are not responsible for it, but we are the only ones who can take charge of it and now who can nurture it. Okay, so the child begins to believe that there's something wrong with me. I'd like you to also pay attention now. We are going to do one beautiful meditation. We are going to connect with our inner child. We're going to go to our childhood home and really see how the child is feeling. But before we do that, I want us to also know that the child outside, the children outside will trigger your inner child. When the mother says there's no need to get angry or stop crying, why is she doing it? Her own emotions are suppressed. And if my child is going to start crying, she starts triggering that pain in me. So I'm not going to be okay with the child outside crying. Okay, so the parents who are not okay looking at their feelings, they want to suppress the other also. Okay, so we are going to connect with the child within, but I want us to look at what are the things that trigger you outside. Maybe your own children, maybe your classroom. What is it that triggers you? I'll give you an example. There was a teacher who did the inner child with us, and she saw that her child, she was, the child was about 4 5 years old, and the child would keep calling the mother. The child had toys, and the mother said, I'm doing my stuff in the other room, and you play with your toys. She said, Mama, come with me, Mama, play with me. No. And she realized that this mother was the third child, was a late born child, and there was a lot of gap between her sisters and her. And as a child, she used to play alone, and she never really got company. So she realized that my daughter, when she calls me, Mama, come and play with me, it just irritates me that you have your space, you have your toys, why do you want me? Right? Now, when this mother, as a child, did not get somebody to play with her, she was feeling lonely. And her loneliness starts getting triggered when this child calls. Okay, so I want each of us to really pay attention to what are your triggers, anything that triggers you. When there's a child outside, when this child starts doing something, what is it that triggers you? What is it that starts irritating you? There's a beautiful school in Bangalore, Creative School, and the founder of that school are our dear friends, and they have done a lot of the work that we have done from our teachers. And they have really opened the schools and they have incorporated all these principles. So what they do is actually once a week all the teachers meet. Like there's a class time every Wednesday. They used to have a time where all of the teachers are sitting and each of them shares what was their difficulty. This child was doing this and I really lost it. I really got very angry and I did this. So they actually pay attention to what happened, and then they really take this time to introspect, how could I have held a more loving and unconditional space for this child. So they introspect that because they are aware that if a child is doing something which is triggering you, the child is actually mirroring to you an aspect of you. We are living in a universe when we start understanding the energetics, and tomorrow we're going to talk about energy in the meditation session. But when we start understanding the energetics of the universe, know that we will know that we are living in a loving and a mirroring universe. So nobody out there is going to be there usually to trouble you, but they're going to mirror to you all your issues. Okay, may I request everybody, please put your phones on silent because we're also going to be doing meditation, so nobody is disturbed. Yes. So anybody wants to share this? Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
I can say like in my childhood, my dad never allowed me to reply back to him. So if somebody replies back to me, I feel irritated.
Yes, absolutely. The child wanted to express, and now when a child is going to express, you're going to get it. Wonderful observation, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share? Yes.
I think for me, when a child is very frustrated,
The child is?
frustrated
Yeah.
and anxious about something, then that's a huge trigger for me because I remember that feeling from my childhood as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the child outside mirrors to you that state, right? That's beautiful. Yes. Anybody else? Anybody else reckon? Give me an example. Yes. Beautiful. So, what happens is that also becomes your sensitive area. Because I didn't get it, I try to do more of that to the other, right? So, definitely, it's an important, I mean, it talks about also your sensitivity, and it'll be nice for you to just now also pay attention to the inner child where you were not heard. Yes, please.
Hello. Ma'am, what I feel ki everybody's practices are different. Sometimes what happen, ma'am, whatever my practice, good practice are there, if others will not follow, then sometimes it will triggers to us also, right? What is my
Right.
opinion?
Exactly. Exactly what I was saying, that when we get married, like I said, because obviously we are now together with somebody who's having also different set of practices, right? So in our own home we will have certain beliefs, but the moment it is another family, somebody from outside, they will have their own set of beliefs. And very likely now when you say this, we have our own set of beliefs, right? That comes from the age of 3 to 6. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
So we were raised, brothers and sisters were raised to do all the work in the house. And there was nothing, no drawing line that this is boys' work and girls' work. Now, when I see that in the classroom, when the boys say, oh, ma'am, we cannot do this is girls' work. Or if the girls say, oh, I cannot do this. And I really get triggered. And I said, why? Why is this? In this age, why are you saying that? But then deeper down, I see that that's happening at home still. And that is why they still have this stereotypical, their home. No, their home. So that is where I find out that why they behave still like this, where they say that, okay, this is boys' work.
Thank you. Thank you. So, friends, we'll do one activity, okay, because this is right post lunch. If we straight go into meditation, we'll fall asleep, right? So, we are going to do an activity. We are going to do a mirror dance. Okay, what is a mirror dance? You'll choose a partner, okay, and supposing, ma'am, if you can just come, if she is my partner, okay, first I'm A, she is B, I'm going to give her some steps, so I'm going to do some steps and she has to mirror. How will you mirror this? No, right? So I'm going to give steps and she has to copy me. Like I said, we are living in a universe which is mirroring to us. Okay, and then I'm going to say switch, then she is going to give me the steps, I'm going to copy her. Okay, don't try to give very simple steps to your partner. Okay, that's not how life is. It's going to give you some challenges. Okay, so we'll just have a quick short dance. Okay, and so may I request you, if I get stuck with the music, choose your partner, somebody you don't know from before. Okay, y'all can come here, y'all can take the space here, or just right in front of your chairs if there is space. Okay, partner A, start giving steps to partner B.
I am not trying to do
When I dance, they call me Magarena, and the boys they say que soy buena. They all want me, they can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me. Move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Now don't you worry about my boyfriend. boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vitorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him, he was no good, so I. Now, come on, what was I supposed to do? He was out of town, and his two friends were so fine.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena.
No, no, I'm done with that story. Let me show.
I'm not trying to do Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Thank Okay, time to meet our inner child. We can all settle down. You can take off your spectacles. Close your eyes. Yeah. Swam, please make sure that nobody is now opening the door. You can settle down. As you close your eyes, come to your breath. Give yourself the permission to start connecting within, to the feeling aspect of yourself, to the child within. Let yourself visualize that you are now going to a beautiful place of nature. Send out your mind to a beautiful place of nature of your own choice. This place is going to be your personal healing sanctuary. Put yourself there, feel yourself there. Nobody else can come here without your permission. It's just you and nature. Pay attention to the colors that you're seeing there, the textures. Connect to the Mother Earth. Feel the earth under your feet. And as you're connecting, let yourself start feeling deeper levels of connection with the Mother Earth. As if roots are there, just like a tree is rooted, you are also rooted. And you continue to get nurtured by the Mother Earth. Feel yourself take a walk. And every step that you take, you're feeling deeper and deeper levels of nurturance. Deeper and deeper levels of safety. Deeper and deeper levels of connection. And as you continue to take a walk, you're going to see a few stairs, a flight of stairs, which will take you towards your childhood home. Allow yourself to take those flight of stairs. And if you had multiple homes as a child, trust the first one that comes. Instinctively, which is the one that comes, allow yourself to pay attention to that. You're taking the flight of stairs and going to this place of nature, or to going outside the childhood home. And as you stand there outside your childhood home, looking at it as the wise adult from today, as this adult from 2024, who is wise, who is resourceful, from 28th of August 2024, you are ready to go into this childhood home to reconnect with your inner child. As I count from 5 to 1, you're going to open the door and you will be inside at the count of 1, seeing your inner child. 5, 4, 3. Opening the door of the house, moving around in the house, looking for the child. 2. Trust the first impressions that are coming, first feelings. And 1. As you see the child, trust what you see. Where is the child? How is the child seated? What posture? From a distance, you are looking at the child. Pay attention to the eyes of the child. Eyes are the windows of the soul. What do you sense? What do you see? How is this child feeling? Slowly you're going towards the child and connecting with the child. Introduce yourself to the child. I'm your adult version coming from 2024. And tell the child, I want to now be there for you. I want to know your story. I want to see you for who you are, not what you do. I want to give you a beautiful space so you can be yourself. I want to now accept you and love you for who you are. If the child is taking time, that's absolutely okay. If the child is starting to connect with you, you can put a hand on your heart space, our feeling center, where we start connecting. You are showing your love, telling the child you matter. Letting the child also know that there is no hurry. I'm going to give you all the time, all the space. As the child starts connecting with you, the child may be comfortable coming close to you. Quite a few of us are visual people and you may be seeing it. But a lot of us are also feeling beings, and just trust what you're feeling. Just allow it. Give the child all the space to be themselves. What you can do is you can offer the child to come with you to the healing place, your healing sanctuary, the nature place. Tell the child, I want you to come with me to this beautiful nature place where we'll be able to connect. You can be free there and you can start expressing yourself. If the child feels okay, hold the child. Maybe pick the child if the child is very young, or hold the hand of the child and feel and see yourself walking out of the childhood home, crossing that candy bar, that ice cream parlor outside your house, and taking the child to this nature place. And going into the nature place, you and your inner child are spending time together. Just in the way that the child feels comfortable. There is no hurry, there is no need to do any particular activity. Providing a free space to do and to be how the child wants to be. Maybe just sitting on the grass or sitting on the sand, and maybe just lying on the grass and looking up at the sky, just holding the hand of the child. Maybe just keeping the child in your lap and just letting the child know, I'm here for you. Tell the child, I will now never ever leave you alone, no matter what. Tell the child, every day we will connect. We will meet here in this nature place. I will start paying attention to you. I want to know you. I want to build this connection with you. If the feelings are coming, emotions are coming, allow them. Allow them to flow. Hold the child in just the way that the child would feel comforted. Nobody else can know better than you what the child would need. Through your eyes, through your touch, let the child know that the child matters. And holding the child now, let the child again become one with you. Feel that the child is taking the form of light and now entering your heart space. You're going to come back with the child in your heart, with this connection growing stronger every day. Every day, you're now going to start paying attention to your inner child, to how you feel, to your own needs. You will start nurturing your own inner child. Feeling this deep connection, internalizing this beautiful feeling. Very slowly, you're getting ready to come back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Slowly, you can rub your palms together, cover your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. That's wonderful. Welcome, friends. Anybody wants to share their experience? Anyone sharing? We can take. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you're audible.
I don't really want to simply say that I connected very well, but I did connect. It was a turmoil for me. I really got into my childhood. I remembered my parents. I had a wonderful childhood actually. I missed it now. I wish I hadn't grown in this process. I really don't know why I connected to this session so much. I did have a wonderful childhood. And just before this, just because you had taken that something mirrors you session, right? Your like colleague or your student connects, you mirror you. I felt I mirror myself in my childhood. I mirror myself in my childhood. I do most things, just like Madam said, I don't know. She said, I try to do what I get, what I was deprived of, or what I enjoyed, or what I was happy of the most. I think I'm doing that only.
Yes.
Wonderful, ma'am. I don't know why I got
Beautiful.
so connected to this.
That's beautiful.
It was a turmoil though.
That's
I
perfect.
didn't feel peaceful.
Yes. That's supposed to happen. That's why the first slide I said, idle mind is devil's workshop. We don't sit with ourselves because there is also turmoil within. Right? But when we understand how to handle it, when we understand that there is a wise self now in you who can pay attention to this child self where the turmoil is there, that is what will start helping.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, ma'am. You want a mic?
Yeah, so I could also connect with the inner child very well. In fact, I could have the visuals, the whole scene, and what the child was expressing, the emotion or whatever the feeling was. So I could relate it to those feelings very well right now, because right now also certain emotions or feelings which keep coming repeatedly. The a sense of like, for example, what I felt was the child is feeling that the child is not feeling free, like its school is too structured and the child wants to just be, play or just be. So that kind of thing, that sense of being bounded, that feeling I have often had, like, not, I mean, now also, but, and I could really completely, there was a complete sync with it. And the thing was, the child was able to really express very well with the adult, and it was all very visually, like I could connect, so the feelings, I could really see that they were syncing very, very well.
We actually can trace all our issues, whatever may come, if we start asking, where have I felt this before? Right? Even now, supposing something is triggering you, if you start just asking yourself, where is this trigger coming from? Have I felt this before? It'll start taking you back to the roots. This is where childhood is where most of our issues started. That's where the roots are. You may now see it happening and mirroring in other relationships, one friend, spouse, somebody else, but actually we need to work at that original pain, that original thing, and we need to work on that, and that's when our life starts to change. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, we need to leave. Yes, time's up. We can continue interacting outside, friends, and the nature place that you connected with. We can start in our meditation, start connecting with that place and start connecting with your inner child. When we start giving the attention and energy in unconditional ways, that is how we start nurturing ourselves. Thank you so much.
I had to add one more thing here.
Ji.
You were, was trying to, um, what should I say, to attach his childhood with this process of meditation. And before say which I want to say, I want to ask one question to all of you that when we were doing this meditation process, who are there that who was thinking that they are doing meditation? Is there anyone who was thinking during that process that they are doing meditation? This kind of thought was also there that we are doing meditation. Thing is that which I want to say that meditation, what I have learned the meaning of, when you become absolutely thoughtless, and even when this kind of thought has also gone from your mind that, or you are doing meditations just to bring some kind of peace and purity in your mind, that kind of thought should also not come in your mind. When that situation reached, then you can imagine that you are doing meditation. It's just my personal opinion.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes. Sometimes, so the way that you mentioned that you do it for others. Now, when you saw someone else, it's also actually telling you that you're nurturing others so that you feel nurtured. But you need to connect to your inner child. You need to first nurture yourself, and then it'll automatically come. Thank you.